Hey yo, what's going on, man? It's your boy Q. We're on the first episode of my new show, man. Shout out to my boy Darius Ely, the producer, the CEO, the executive, for giving me this opportunity, man, to speak with you all, and share some of my thoughts, share some of my daily thoughts and trials and tribulations that I've gone through as a man, as a young man, as a married man, as a father, as a minister. Um, Today we're gonna be talking about where do men go to vent. This is such a man. I'm not gonna say a chaotic topic, but it brings about a lot of conversation simply because it's such a negative stigma around men venting. Oftentimes, every situation is different, but oftentimes when a man wants to vent or um express himself, it's called a plethora of things. Um and a lot of them have a negative connotation connected to them. So it's either called whining, complaining, being a B word, you know what I'm saying? Being a punk, being a wimp, being soft. And in retrospect, it causes us as men to compress, you know what I'm saying? So whatever we're going through, whatever we may be dealing with, we tend to not talk about it. We tend to not properly process it. We just swallow it down. Um and unconsciously we have been groomed that way since we were old enough to understand, and a lot of people will be able to relate simply because even as young boys, um when we hurt ourselves or when we get into situations to where something may be too difficult for us and we may show emotion of being upset or crying, and or we fall, the first thing people will say, hey, you a boy, boys don't cry. And what that does is it programs in our minds that it is a bad thing to cry. Is it a bad thing to show emotion? It's a bad thing to be human, because having emotions is just a part of being human. If you're not able to feel pain, if you're not able to feel love, then you're not human. We were given those senses for a reason, and it's simply because they're necessary. They're necessary to go through life. They're necessary to have proper and functional relationships. But in men, we're taught not to show those emotions. So as kids, we're taught to uh, compress all of that pain, swallow that pain, don't show no pain, don't show no sign of weakness. And in return, what that does is creates a damaged individual, a dysfunctional individual, because then we don't properly know. If we don't get the help, we won't properly know how to communicate what we're dealing with. And that's what happens in a lot of relationships and marriages and friendships, is that you're dealing with a lot of men that don't know how to properly communicate. Um, and like I say, it starts from childhood on up, and as we go through life we deal with things, right? So it's amazing to see young kids today. To me, the greatest example of who we need to be like, other than Jesus himself, is these kids, man. Kids are so innocent, kids are so loving, kids are pure in their love, and it's something that we should mimic. But through the course of life we go through things, right? We go through things, we suffer our bumps and bruises, and we're hurt and we're disappointed, and people let us down and people hurt us, and it causes us to change, right? So as we're growing, as we're developing, and we're going through all of this, that innocent kid that once was is no more, because we've had to develop, grow tough skin. We've had to let go of that innocence of being able to forgive, being able to look over certain stuff and just love people. We've had to let that go because we've been now programmed to where, hey, I gotta protect me. I have to protect my heart. I have to protect my pride. I can't let people hurt me the way that they did before. And a lot of times, instead of growing um properly, you know what I'm saying, growing the right way, we grow uh we grow wrong. We grow misconfigured. We grow hurt, you know. So a lot of the things that we deal with and that we run into, it messes with our perception of things because of what we have been through. And a lot of times men, I was having this conversation, and the thought came up is like men don't have a safe place, which is true. Which is true because oftentimes you find when you share your weakness with people, all it takes is for people to be upset with you, or to start to feel a type of way, and they want to use those things that you share in confidentiality against you. So in return, what do? We don't share those things. We don't talk about those things that we know can be used against us to hurt us. We don't share those things. We deal with them. And it's not so much deal with them. We just we compress. We compress. We swallow it all down, and we keep moving. But what happens when you get too full? What happens when you get to the point to where you feel like, hey, I can't do this no more? Here comes the explosion. And a lot of times it's dangerous because we often hear that saying, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. You know what I'm saying? But that camel is strong. But after so long, are you packing stuff on it? You constantly packing stuff on it. And you never taking anything off. You never get a chance to get that stuff off of you. You never get the chance to filter your spirit out. You know what I'm saying? You tap out. You know what I'm saying? It's not so much of the weight of what you're carrying, but it's how you're carrying it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we take on things and situations that we shouldn't take on, because at the end of the day, we're not built to carry all of that. Even in the Bible, it tells you God wants you to cast all your cares, all your burdens on Him. He the only one that can deal with a lot of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it gets to a point to where, in order for us to keep ourselves, keep our what we feel like our integrity and our strength about ourselves as men, we stay to ourselves. We don't share those things that could hurt us if they are weaponized. If you take my vulnerable moments and you weaponize them against me, it's like you never look at people the same way after that. So the question, like the topic for today, where do men go to vent? Where do men go to vent? Who can you talk to? Who can you be open and honest with? Who can you share those vulnerable moments with? Where do you go? Who do you turn to when you know that if I share this with somebody, I know they'll look at me a different kind of way? Or if I let them know that I'm suffering with this, will they turn their backs on me? You know, and that is not a trivial question, because it was brought, what I'm saying, to my attention that, you can share certain things with certain people, but everybody is not equipped to give you the answers. Everybody is not equipped to give you the wisdom, what I'm saying, to be able to hear what you say, process it, and give you wisdom on how to deal with it. Right. So it gets to a point to where you look at yourself and you have to self-evaluate. You have to self-evaluate. You have to look at you first, because it's easy for you to, point out issues in somebody else's life. But when you have to turn that mirror around and really deal with what's in that mirror, you have to deal with those hurt parts of yourself. Because if I deal with my hurt, if I deal with what causes me pain, if I deal with whatever childhood trauma that could be causing me this PTSD as a grown man, because a lot of times what it is we are adults, but we're still hurt little kids. Meaning we never dealt with the trauma that we faced as kids, and we just grew up. Uh, um, we just grew up. You know what I'm saying? We grew up in physique. You know what I'm saying? We grew up in age. We aged, but we didn't heal. So a lot of times when we don't heal, watch this. When people try to impart wisdom into us, we are hearing with hurt ears. And I don't know how many of you know about injuries, but I played sports in school, and a lot of times when I would get hurt or I would get injured, I would suffer a bump or a bruise. If I didn't go and treat that bruise, and I would come back to practice that next day, and I hadn't treated that bruise, and that bruise would be hit, oh man, it would cause me pain, it would cause me trauma, and it was like, oh, that really hurt, that really bothered me. And a lot of times that's what happens is people try to impart into us, and it may be something tough. It may be one of those tough situations. It may be one of those tough topics that touches, that hits that sore spot that we have. And if our perspective, if we haven't healed and our perspective is misconstrued, we will take that wisdom as 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 a hit. You know what I'm saying? We will take it as a slight, or we will be in a spirit of offense to where you thinking, oh, they taking shots at me, or somebody told them my business, or you know, oh, who said that, or how they know that, and why they, instead of taking the impartation that God may be trying to get to us and using it and saying, hey God, look, I've been through some things. I've been hurt. You know what I'm saying? And God, and that's point one. Where do men go to vent? The first person we should vent to, the first person that should know everything, which he already does, but he wants to hear from us, is God. We should first pray and ask God for that healing. Ask God to make us whole as men so that we can be everything we need to be to our families. Because even though, broken crayons do color, I ain't like coloring with broke crayons. And I know a lot of people don't like coloring with broke crayon. We want to hold something. We want hold. You don't want to go out, and a lot of times that's what we have done, is that we have gone throughout life giving people pieces of us. So we've hurt some people, we've damaged some people, we've ruined some relationships because we've given people damaged pieces of us. I know I'm not the only one. We've hurt people because we weren't whole within ourselves, and we didn't properly know how to love ourselves, let alone love somebody else. And if we did love somebody else, it came with some trauma with it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's amazing how we as men, and I'm talking to the men because I feel like so many times we get beat down so much. We are the butt of every joke. Whether you're a father, a baby daddy, or whatever you may be, men have it hard. And oftentimes it's rare that people speak up for us. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we have to get on the ball. We have to get in position to where we're able to help each other. We're able to motivate and push and pull each other out of these dark spots. The rate of suicide and broken families is at an all-time high. And because it's the male the male figure is such an important figure, and if you look at almost every aspect in life, the male figure is lacking. If you look from the church to the home to the household, the male figure is lacking. We have to take our rightful spots, you know what I'm saying, so that we can be more effective. And that's what I want this to be about, man. To where, I'm young, I'm 29 years old. Been through some stuff. I haven't seen it all, but I've been through some stuff, and I want to be able to impart into the next young man, or the older gentleman, the OG. You know what I'm saying? To give him some life too, because we need it, man. We need positive reinforcement. Everybody need a pat on the back. Say, hey, man, hey, you doing good. Let's tough it out. Let's get it. You're not alone. Hey, you need help? Call me. Let me know. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, let's run through it right quick. So, like I said, first thing is establish a relationship with God. Vent to God first. Let him know what's going on. Secondly, ask God to give you people for your life. Meaning, you can't trust everybody. Everybody does not possess the capacity to handle you at 100 proof. Meaning, everybody can't handle all your secrets. Everybody can't handle the real you. That's why you have to have God sent people in your life. Number 3, always be intentional on doing the right thing. It's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna feel like you winning all the times. And I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of times it's gonna feel like you losing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times it's gonna feel like you're getting the short end of the stick, but you're not. You know what I'm saying? We hear it all the time. This is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Meaning a lot of stuff in this walk is not instant gratification. It doesn't mean that, hey, you make up your mind tonight that, hey, I want to do something different, and then, tomorrow your life turns around. It happens sometimes, don't get me wrong. I'm not discounting that, but I don't want you to get discouraged if it doesn't happen for you like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't get down on yourself and give up because it's not instant. The gratification of what you're looking for doesn't come instantaneous. It may take a little while. But one thing I've always understood is that some of the best things in life take a while, man. Some of the best things, some of the best food, and some of the best gifts and stuff that this world has to offer, it takes a while. It goes through some harsh processes, but once you get it, even the Bible tells you the sufferings of this present time is not worthy to be compared of the glory. Meaning, what you're going through right now it can't touch what your future is gonna be like. It cannot touch what your future is gonna be like. So always be intentional. Always be intentional on doing what's right. No matter what, keep doing what's right. Establish relationship with God. Um, Ask God for God send people for your life. Be intentional on doing what's right. And number 4, I hinted on it in my last point. Don't give up when it doesn't happen overnight. Stay the course. Stay the course. God will send you people for your life, man, to impart into you everything you need for relationships, for jobs, for everything. He will send people. I'm a living witness. He will send people into your life to give you everything that you need. But your job is to trust him. I heard it said one time, God's job is to lead and feed. Your job is to follow and to swallow. And it's simple as that. It's not always easy. It doesn't always make sense, but I promise you, sooner than later, it'll turn in your favor if you start to change the mindset. A lot of times we defeat ourselves with our mindset. Before anything transpires in our life, our mindset kills everything because uh from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you think, you know what I'm saying, it causes these feelings. And then when these feelings come out verbally, we've put that out into the atmosphere. And our words, we give those feelings and those bad emotions life. So if you constantly putting yourself down, I ain't gonna never be this, or I ain't gonna never have this, or this will never happen for me. Well, guess what? It probably won't, because you put that out there. Every day declare, make a declaration of your life that today is the best day of my life. Today, everything starts to turn around for me for the good. I'm gonna leave you with this. No matter where you are, what you're going through, no matter where you are, what you're going through, God knows. God knows. Nothing in your life it has happened by coincidence. Nothing. He knows. And even in the darkest of moments, he's been there. Some of the toughest times I've ever had in life is going through things and feeling like I was by myself. Feeling like I couldn't. God, where are you in this? And the whole time he was right there, because guess what? I was still here. And that's enough to blow my mind right there. Is that I'm looking for God, and the evidence is evident when I look into the mirror, and I'm still here. One of my favorite songs in the world, it says millions didn't make it, but I was one of the ones who did. And it reigns so true, because there's millions of men, and I don't care about ethnicity, but it's millions of men that have committed suicide, that have gone on and have transitioned because they couldn't take the weight of life. I was one that wanted to get out of here because I felt like life had got too heavy. But by the grace of God, man, he kept me. He kept my mind from going to that dark place, staying in that dark place. So I want to let you know, if he did it for me, I promise you. Look, I'm not one of televangelists. I'm not uh 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 asking you for money to send me nothing or none of that. I'm telling you real life stuff that I've been through. That I'm a witness. That they can turn around, but it's gonna have to start with you. You got to give God something. He's already sacrificed everything, his whole life for us. So you have to give him something, so that you can show him that, hey God, I'm going to be faithful. You can trust me with this. Never give up. Trust God and know that all things work together for the good. Trust God. Never give up. Trust God. Never give up. Establish relationship with God. Ask for God sent people for your life. Be intentional on doing what's right. Be intentional on doing what's right. It's not gonna be the most popular decision. You're gonna have some kickback, but hey, it all is gonna work out for the good. So hey, look, time was well spent, man. Look, it was great. Um, a great experience, man. My first episode. Hopefully, man, there's many, many more to where I'm able to share with you all. Man, look, hit me up. My social media, Q Armstrong on TikTok, JaQuinton Armstrong on Facebook. Reach out to me, man. Anything y'all want to talk about, y'all want to run it. Uh, Reach out to me. Let's get clarity. You know what I'm saying? Let's share with each other so that we can grow together. Let's do it, man. All right, man. We out.